D-Lo 404, Boxing and More. Shout out to the LDBC. I just saw Boxing Ego's video. Shout out to Boxing Ego. Saying that the Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence fight has a venue in place now. Even though the fight's not 100% signed, that it was that they have actually secured AT&T Stadium, Jerry World. You know, that's huge for those two guys. You know, Mikey Garcia being a Mexican fighter. You know, there's a huge Mexican demographic and Mexican population in the Texas, especially in the Dallas area. Also, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence being from that area. I mean, I think they won't have any problem piling them into that stadium. As for the fight itself, I'm sure there's just a few things they're trying to get buttoned up to go ahead and get everything signed, sealed, and delivered. And, you know, I don't expect there to be anything stopping this fight at this point. I mean, typically, when you see a venue being reserved, especially, you know, it's not one of those Vegas venues that host fights all the time. When you're talking about a football stadium that rarely hosts fights, and the deal being in place for them to host the fight, I pretty much think everything else is just a formality. I think it's pretty much a done deal. As for the fight itself, I mean, it's not a fight that I personally was clamoring for, even when it started being kicked around that it was starting to get serious. But I understand, you know, Mikey wanted to push himself to be, you know, to be great. And it's not like it's unprecedented, you know, for a welterweight to be challenged by a lightweight. And actually to lose, you know. But I think from Spence's standpoint, I don't think it was ever a fight he really wanted, but it was just a fight that, you know, he couldn't keep turning the fight down, especially when he doesn't have another big fight against another marquee name fighter on the docket, you know, and don't have, you know, Kell Brooks the biggest fight he has, but other than that, there's nothing else coming. None of the other big name guys in and around his division have seemed interested in fighting, with the exception of Terrence Crawford. But even with that, it don't seem like between the two of them, they don't want to fight right now. That's something they want down the line. So at some point, you got to move on from that. As for what Mikey's trying to do, I mean, there's precedence in it being done in the past. I mean, you got, you know, Manny Pacquiao moved up and beat Oscar De La Hoya, even though, you know, Oscar wasn't, you know, in his prime or even a champion at that time. I don't think Oscar had a title. He may have, I can't remember, but maybe he did have a title. But either way, you know, with Oscar being who Oscar was, you know, at that time, man, Oscar was still at that point the biggest star in boxing. He had fought as high as 154, and he was moving back down. And maybe Oscar fought at 160 at one point. I'm not sure, but I know that he was coming down from fighting that he had fought Floyd at 154. And I can't remember if he fought someone else first, but I know he fought Stephen Forbes. And then, you know, he fought Pacquiao. But you got Roberto Duran moved up from lightweight, challenged Sugar Ray Leonard, and he beat Sugar Ray Leonard in the first fight. Even though it was a very, very close fight, he could have gone either way, but you know, Duran got the win. Shane Mosley moved up and beat Oscar De La Hoya. And you know, actually done so twice. So the precedent's been set. It's been done. I just don't think, and this is my opinion, you know, and I just don't think Mikey is as special as those guys. I mean, it takes a very special fighter to do what those guys do. I think Mikey's special in his own right, but I don't think he's that special. And I also look at Errol Spence and what Errol Spence brings to the table. I just that's a lot to overcome. A lot to overcome. And I don't think, I mean, just being 100% honest, and I know people look at wins and losses and they'll say, oh man, he lost to this person, that person, and whatever, but I just look at, as far as skill set, I'll say if Errol Spence can do what he did to Lamont Peterson, and yes, I know Lamont Peterson was knocked out by Lucas Matisse. Yes, I know Lamont Peterson had a loss on his record to Danny Garcia. And I know there's some that feel that that Lamont Peterson got a gift against Felix Diaz. But that said, I've watched enough of Lamont Peterson fights to know what Lamont Peterson is made of and what he brings to the table. And the versatility and skill set and that dog that he always brings to the fight. Like I said, I had a lot of respect for Lamont Peterson. And for Errol Spence to do Lamont Peterson the way he done it, I can't see anything Mikey brings to the table that suggests that he won't end up the same or worse than Lamont Peterson versus Errol Spence. You know, but as the saying goes, styles make fights. I just seen nothing in Mikey's style that says he's gonna give Errol serious problems. Have I been wrong before? Yeah. Could I be wrong in this situation? In this instance, I don't think so. And if you know, I know there's a lot of people out there saying that that you know Mikey's gonna expose Errol Spence, he's gonna knock him out, he's gonna do this and that. I tell you what, I hope Vegas is listening to you guys, and they put the odds on the fight as such, because I definitely would love to go in and clean up on this fight. If they go in there and give some weird odds and against Errol Spence. You know, I hope they're listening to you guys that say Errol's basic, straight up and down. His size is his only true attribute, so forth and so on. I hope that's the way the odds go, because I'll be a fool with money if that's the case then, and definitely bet as if I'm betting on a sure thing. But you know, that said, I look forward to the fight at this point, you know, because it's pretty much the best fight that can be made for Errol Spence right now. That's realistic, you know, because the other guys that should be easy fights for them to make aren't interested in fighting. You know, and I'm talking about the other welterweights in the PBC stable. They just don't seem interested in fighting Errol Spence. So at some point, Errol Spence has to do something else. So I look forward to the fight, especially with the venue being what it is. We'll see what happens. I just don't see anything preventing this fight from taking place. I'm hopeful that it goes ahead and happens. I think the date is March 16th, if I'm not mistaken. It's the date that they're looking at. I probably should say it earlier in the video, but once again, AT&T Stadium in Dallas, where the Cowboys play, Jerry World, Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia. Date they're looking at is March 16th. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to New Media. And subscribe to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. Hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.